So today you're joining me in the kitchen, and here we have our little schematic. This is the lithium 8S charger, and what we need is a voltage and ammeter, a buck converter and a power supply. Now I've got this Lenovo 65 watt power supply. It's 20 volts and 3.25 amps. So what we need to do is the power factors here. So if I had a 12 volt, sorry, let me zoom in there with my hand. 12 volt 2 amp, the power factor is 2.8, which will give me 5.7 amps. 19 volts and 1.77, this was working it the opposite way, would give me 4.52. And 20 volts with a power factor of 4.76 gives me a 15.47 amp output. Now power factor is not what I'm talking about, it's the current to voltage factoring when going through a buck converter. So as you can see, we've got batteries everywhere and the other room is packed with them, littered like an apocalypse waiting to happen. So what we do is we have our DC that comes from our power supply. We fuse this, it goes into the buck converter. Here it goes through the meter, it goes through a diode, and then goes through there. Now when you attach the battery to this with a diode there, you'll get no voltage reading, so technically you could put a second one on there. However, I prefer to use a multimeter on there because the cells are connected all in parallel. That's a P, not a S. P. You'll always read across every single cell anyway, so you'd have to put one up and test it that way. So what we want to do as well is off the rails, I want another output here which lets me charge other batteries, and I can control the charge with the pots on here, which isn't very helpful when it's inside a box, and I'll show you the box in a bit. But what we need to do then is change these over to a pots, and then we can mount them on there. I'm not doing a automatic one simply because when I do this I'll be monitoring the battery cells anyway because they are lithium ion, so I'll be keeping a closer eye on this. Otherwise it's adding a relay here, a controller, and a AS715, which is a current meter, and then what I can do is the controller will read the current. When the current goes too high or too low, it cuts off the relay and will cut the power to the battery charger. So what we're going to do is basically run the a secondary output over over the rails for these boxes. Now I'm waiting for these to come. They were supposed to be here yesterday, they still haven't arrived as usual. So they're two interlocking for 18650 cell holders, and what we'll do then is we'll put them in there. And if you're following me along on the DIY battery power wall using used laptop cells, well, this is taking forever to do. So there's your little update on the first stage of this. Then we'll just be wiring it all together, fuses and all that. I'm gonna go and grab now.